commence round 4 here at Football Park. The Dogs take on the legs. Lounder with the knock. Forward they go. Ghazi been in great touch. Overruns the ball on that occasion. Maynard on the ground, dishes it out to Staritsky. Jarman works hard. An early touch to him. Away they go, they legs. Number 19 for the legs is Halfpenny as he sends the ball towards half forward. Muster out. Kicked 6th last week from a forward pocket. Thomas, a bit hard to Kelly on that occasion. Gets it back though, Kelly. Ducks around, opportunity, he's caught. Kicks the ball into the forward pocket. Botka out quickly, decides over the boundary line is good. Weeding with him. There's Matthew Kelly. 2 very important touches. He brought the ball forward. Good evasive skills as well. His brother was taken off injured in the reserves today. Let's hope that's not too serious. Lounder again. Oh, James did well, gave it to Weeding. Didn't come off. Coming away with it is Handley. His kick is poor. McAdam picked in the centre of the ground. Tries to get it up. Dodges, weaves. He is brilliant, this man, when he gets the ball. He knows exactly what he's doing. His kick is good. It goes to Rowe. His hands let him down, though. Kelly comes at him. Has no trouble getting around that player. Puts the ball long. Grandstand wing. Up high as Ross. Over the top of Chaplin. In the back to Ghazi, surely, or holding on. And he'll get the free kick. Centre wing. Only 1.5 minutes into the first quarter.
Yeah, the tackle by McIntosh was aggressive, but Ghazi never had the ball. In there looking for Coffey, up high, couldn't take it. Lynn off hands, well tackled. Pittman in there to Jarmanov, very quick hands to Robran. Robran spears out the ball looking for Baum. Arada the spoiler. Baum quick to recover. The handball is very good to James as he held back on that kick looking for Weeding, couldn't take it. I tell you, Botka would be looking for a kick today because he didn't get one last week against the Warriors. The ball out of play in the right forward pocket. Sikadik has the job of looking after Muster. Muster kicked 6 last week from his forward pocket. We're 2 minutes into this first term. So some great individual clashes around the ground. Probably the highlight being Jarman and McAdam. Baum tapped it back. Scott Lee got the kick away. Goes straight to McAdam, the man we were talking about. Has Lounder. Should use him. Does so. Lounder buys a little bit of time. Now puts it up high. Bubner opposed to Robran. That'll be a great tussle, that one. Robran managed to get a hand to the ball. In there pushing it out. It now ends up with Pike. Back to Robran. Possession number 2 if he gets rid of it. It does so. Brilliant handball to Maynard. Oh, he's class, Robran. He's going to be a star. As the ball goes over the head of Ghazi. Should be first there. Hereda should provide the shepherd. Ghazi goes towards the boundary line. Rowe there, but not quick enough, and the ball out of play.
Good crowd at Football Park. Beautiful day. No reason why there shouldn't be a good crowd. And a great game at hand. Redlegs back on the winning list after beating an undefeated West Adelaide at Richmond last week, and the Dogs yet to win a game. Putting the ball down there for the Dogs is a Raider. Playing at centre half back. Halfpenny tips it out to McIntosh is good. Macca turns it around to half forward. Muster and Sikadik do battle. Muster recovers, brilliantly gets it up to Payne. Payne with time, has Weeding, ignores him. Thomas, nowhere to go. Smith caught him. Nobody supporting Thomas. That's holding the ball surely. Oh, and he'll lose it. It has to. Oh, I don't believe that. And the umpire obviously didn't see the latter part of it. He saw Thomas holding up play, but he didn't see Smith bury his hand in his face. Greg Smith with the ball. Gets lots of touches, Smith. First touch today, though. Bubner out in the lead. Couldn't take it. He will be on Robran today. That'll be a great clash. Coffey got it over him. Turned to Girdham. He chips it around. Falling into the space there is number 30, Tony Lynn. Hit 2 goals last week. Little fella. Playing on a half forward flank. And he should have James Pike to contend with today. Indeed, that's who's on the mark. Only 20 metres, shouldn't have any trouble. In he comes. Not a problem. Great start to the Dogs.
Yes, it's taken 4.5 minutes, but the ball came in. Lynn was by himself. He took the chest mark and he goaled from about 30 metres out. And he's pretty handy around goals. Perhaps not quick enough for to be a rover. That's originally where he was playing when he was with the Brisbane Bears. And that's perhaps why we see him down here, but he's proving his value across the half-forward flank.
In ruck, Pittman loses out to Lounder. Overrun by Lynn, but finally it's Maynard. Coffey catches him. Good tackle. Going in hard, the Dogs. It will die today for them. They just need desperately a win. As Ross pushes the ball back towards centre wing, far side of the ground, landed too slow. Plenty of support there for him, though. Stephen Schwert, but finally it's Maynard. Thomas on his left foot. Rough kick around the body. In front, Halfpenny. Placed to be on a half-forward flank in front as he gives it to Sturicki, playing on the ball. Weeding from behind, can't take it. Smith where the crumb is. Beautifully done. He gets it back up to Bodka. His kick back towards Rowe. Beautifully stolen by Kelly. Good individual challenge on that player. Muster turns it back towards goal, but out in front is Lee. Best player in the entire league last week as James turns it back towards goal. 1 point only. So the Dogs now 6 points. They lead Norwood by 5, just the single minor.
Yes, and the Bulldogs not naming up as line. Coffey, in fact, is playing centre half forward. Ingerson was the player to be named there. He appears to be on the bench, along with Peter Creed. So Coffey at centre half forward opposed to Maynard. Sikadic brings the ball back into play. Lowndes the target. It was well dispatched, but the mark not taken. The crumbs are picked up by Rowe. The handball over the top looking for a Raider. He couldn't control that. McIntosh wants one out on the full. Asked the question. He wasn't interested. This man certainly is. Bill Curley. They have lost 3 games in a row. They would be desperate to open the account. Jarman, clever, a great player. 2 magicians in the middle, McAdam and Jarman. Here's a chance for Muster. He's pretty clever. He didn't have control. Keeps the football, though, over towards Thomas. He's well tackled. Flicks it back. Oh, there's the snapshot by Weeding. Goes across the face of goal, and we'll have a throw-in the right forward pocket.
Good umpiring by Rick Kinnear there. Let that go. Could have paid 2 or 3 free kicks there, but let it go. Richard Williams will help him out this afternoon as the 2 central umpires. In ruck, Barnes, Smith pushed in the back. It's let go. Kelly will meet it first. Rowe right with him. McAdam steps over the top of the ball. Smith picks it up, gets it wide. Has out there Hanley. Now in turn to Chaplin. Rowe with him. He'll tap it forward. Missed by Payne. Chaplin jumps in. Jarman there as well. And we'll have a ball up. As Kim said, individual challenges. There'll be plenty of them today. And don't underestimate the Robber and Bubner challenge in the forward and back pockets respectively, as out comes Muster. Well, he's fast becoming a dangerous pocket player. He was superb last week against West Adelaide at Richmond Oval. And the way he's started today, he's had 5 touches already. We've only played 7.5 minutes. Neil Baum's heart would be in his mouth at the moment. He needs a good start. And Ivan Muster's not the man to give it to him just right now. The ball's in their forward line. That's some consolation.
I think as the game progresses, you'll find that Muster will be a little too mobile on the ground for Sikadic. As Botket kicks the ball out wide. Getting underneath it a Raider, and he takes the mark just inside the boundary line. Short pass down the ground, looking for Schwert, who stood his ground well. Cop one high from Payne. Schwert indicates he wants to kick long. He's an honest player, Schwert. Down there looking for Coffey. The spoil came from behind, but Coffey recovers well. Looking for some support. The handball out towards Lynn placed him under enormous pressure. Pike crawling all over him. Ghazi has the football. Should kick this long. Uses the left boot. Kick number 3. In there looking for man to make it. There's another great battle. Warhurst through solidly. Play on the call. The handball out from Girdham. Looking for McAdam, but he held on to Halfpenny, and he'll receive a free kick. We've had 9 minutes of the first term. The Bulldogs with 1 goal, Norwood 2 points. Kick number 2 for Halfpenny. Barm in there. Played a great game last week. In fact, he played that well. O'Donoghue's been dropped this week for the Bloods. Put out towards Weeding. Picking up the crumbs is Kelly. Oh, beautiful vision to get that across to Jarman. He has a look at the goals. It's back onto the left boot. Sits it up high. Muster front position. Couldn't take it. The loose ball. In there, Sikadic. Players jump on top. And we'll have a bounce 15 metres out.
Neil Baum in his new custom position in the stand. Doesn't look as comfortable there as he does on his deck chair on the ground. And I think he'll get used to it and he'll appreciate the aerial views he has. Rowe with an opportunity, loses it. I felt that Jarman before should have turned on his right and snapped. He chose to go back on his left, obviously looking to open the face of goal up and hoping there was a player in space. Finally, it's Hanley. Eventually on to McAdam. Oh, the kick is beautifully intercepted. Meant for Ghazi by Maynard. He's got Jarman short. In turn, Payne short. Centreman to wingman. Little Payne, brilliant at his best. Puts them in long. Underneath it was Kelly, weeding beautifully smothered by Botka. A tough full-back Botka. Girdham now relieves the pressure. Now Sickerdick coming along grandstand wing. Well run down by Kelly, forced to go inside to Rowe. Rowe has Girdham backing him up. They'll have to go long. Players come with them from everywhere. Smith caught by Jarman is good. Play on is good umpiring. Lynn over the top of it. Kick there first for the Dogs. Lounder in there, too slow. Halfpenny, Girdham go to ground. Smith comes in. Plenty of pace out there. Bubner, Robbery, gives him the slip. Jarman too high on him. And in that hectic fray, something had to give. Finally, it was a free kick.
First kick for Bubner. Puts it out wide, looking for McAdam. The ball fell short, but McAdam comes out with the football. Now the good handball is towards Coffey. Buys a little bit of time, then puts a sweeping right-handed handball out towards Roy Laird. His kick was searching for man to make it and needs support. He's run down by Warhurst. Chaplin, he's pretty good around the goals. He puts it up high. Didn't get onto that one, though. And the ball bounces out of play. There'll be a throw in the right forward pocket. We've had 11 minutes of the first term. McIntosh is roving once more. 3 goals from resting in the forward pocket last week, all in the second quarter against the Bloods. And 2 with his right leg, which you don't see too often. Ball trying to work its way free. Of course, with the aid, a few players out there, Central and Norwood. Umpire Richard Williams to bounce very close to the Bulldogs' goal.
Bubner from behind on Pittman, the youngster for Norwood. Young Pittman. David Pittman only played, this will be his 16th league game. 14 last year and played his first last week against West Adelaide at Richmond. Lynn through. McAdam getting touches early. Caught by Pike is good. Holding the ball was a bit tough on him, I thought. And the umpires have let things go a little bit more than that today, but Pike with the ball relieves the pressure. Far side, looking for Maynard to Staritsky. One of Norwood's best last week, puts them forward. In fact, I picked him best for last week. Great form at the moment. Laird, half-back flank, picks it up, gives it to Stephen Swerd. What a great player he is. On to Ghazi, starting to find form. Coffey, that's his 4th kick, Ghazi. Coffey through the centre of the ground, picks out Greg Smith.
Coffey just getting away from Maynard a little bit, Neville, in the early stages.
Yes, and it's a good move to put Coffey there. Man to make it. Been down on form, man to maker. He's normally a prolific goal kicker. But, last week he only kicked 1. He's found form and goals very hard to come by early in the season. For Central District, they need him desperately. This is his first kick. He's 40 metres out, straight in front. And he comes. Oh, the Dogs kick their second on 9's wide. Well scored.
Yes, and they have to make the most of these opportunities. In fact, when we look at this breeze, it appears to have subsided here at Football Park. As I mentioned, Coffey has been getting away from Maynard, finding a little bit of space. Eventually the ball came in towards Mandermaker, and he kicked truly, and he appears to not have many problems when kicking from a long way out. He's a very accurate kick, but Tommy Warhurst will keep him honest for the afternoon.
Indeed, he will. Centre of the ground. Ghazi roving well for the Dogs. Bubner with the set. Mandermaker again couldn't quite complete it. Lynn got it out to Smith, was brilliant. Halfpenny chases him, puts enough pressure on to force the error. And there's plenty of pace on in this game at the moment. The players like Ghazi, McAdam, Thomas, Jarman, really entertaining the crowd that's here. Warhurst puts it out in front of his half-back flanker in James Pike. Matthew Robin runs with him for support. Pike's kick towards half-forward to Balm is terribly put. Balm was in great form at half-forward last week, but it's Swert who relieves the pressure. Good body work on that occasion by Chaplin as he got rid of Ross. He came back in to run at the ball. Is it half-forward? Man to make it. Oh, Robin from behind. I don't think you can do that.
Well, Richard Williams actually called play on, and a little bit of confusion reigning supreme out there. Chaplin not happy, but the tackle was okay by Robin. He was playing to the umpire's instructions. In there is Thomas, stolen by McIntosh. The ball will have to come back, and Richard Williams just blowing that whistle far too early, and that doesn't make the crowd too happy or the players. But let the game go unless the free kicks are blatant. Give the players time to work the ball free. Schwert in there. Let's hope he lets them work it out as the ball is tapped out towards McAdam. In turn to Smith. Had trouble picking that up. Gets the handball away. McAdam in there once more. Stolen by Halfpenny. Over towards Jarman. Left-handed handball is brilliant to McIntosh. He launches into that one looking for Rose. Scott Lee, great spoil. Out there trying to steal it is Muster. Sikadic taps it over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in about 55 metres out from the Norwood goal. And Neville, I just wonder, come finals time, and we presume Norwood will be there, if McIntosh has the necessary pace and fitness to really cover the vast expanses here as a rover at Football Park.
Well, normally he's picked in the centre, but of course, if they play him in the centre, Jarman probably has to go on the ball, and that might force a problem with Staritsky and Thomas. And then you've got your whole balance of your side. I think Neil Barnes' greatest challenge is where he plays him, not who he plays.
And that's just not for his run-on players, it's for his big men as well.
Oh, indeed. He's got probably has problems, and it really form's got to dictate that. But McIntosh has played on the ball previously at Football Park and in finals and kicked goals, and he surprises me that he has got such good goal sense and manages with his lack of pace to get around the goals so much. It's a test for him, and I would think he'd be very nervous about McIntosh making it as a rover, because that would solve a lot of his balance problems. As Ross sends them back towards half forward, Barham can't take it. Lounder not paid. Laird there as well. Over the top. Piece of luck to Schwert. The Dogs now with a chance. Lynn, or Ghazi it is, on the far side. Sixth kick to man to make it. Warhurst with him, disposes of him. No free kick. Ross caught. Warhurst again. Man to maker and he go to ground. Good contest, that one. And we can see that Tommy Warhurst is really pumped up for that engagement.
And that was a shot of the Norwood bunker. Yeah, the reason I asked that question before, Neville, I've been watching off-screen McIntosh and Ghazi, the way they cover their ground, and Ghazi seems to do it a lot easier, but Mac is in there finding the football. Ghazi's had 6 kicks already. We'll monitor their performances as the game progresses. The handball from McAdam was good to gird him out towards Lynn, lines them up, and he's kicked his second.
Taking advantage of Norwood mistakes are the Dogs. And that young boy in your screen, number 30, Tony Lynn, has kicked his second goal. And he didn't have much time there to settle. Had to really work hard at that. The handball came out very quickly from McAdam. He was well shepherded by Smith, because Andrew Jarman was very close at hand, and Smith took care of Jarman, gave McAdam time to get it on to Lynn, and they kick their third goal. And 2-1 player, Tony Lynn.
Umpire Richard Williams with the football. Lounder opposed to Pittman. Lounder wins the tap. He's leaping quite high out towards Chaplin. Gee, they're getting the ball out of the centre very effectively, the Dogs, as the ball is put out towards Bubner. Robran has an opportunity. The handball in turn looking for McIntosh. McIntosh still on the ball. The ball is now out towards Bubner. He puts it up high. Getting back there is Robran, and he drops what he should have taken. And there'll now be a throw-in.
I thought McIntosh there, trying to keep the ball in the attacking side, he maybe should have turned his back and punched it out towards the boundary line, but he knows better than I what he's got to do. Trying to make something happen there. So will this man Jarman. Now Robran. Plenty of touches early. Robran, he's in lots of trouble. Forced to give it up. Smith intercepts. A chance for the Dogs now. Chaplin with an opportunity. Gives it wide. McAdam there. If he can straighten up, he can. And the 89 McGarry medalist with an opportunity going astray. And he is whipping himself over that one, Kim. The Dogs now 3 goals, 2-20. They lead Norwood 18 points.
Yes, they should have managed a goal from that, but nevertheless, once again, umpire Richard Williams, he'd actually given a free kick against Robran. I concede it was poor play by Robran, but he did handball the ball, so let's hope that they start to let the game flow a little bit instead of picking out these free kicks far too quickly. Well, the ball's tapped out to Girdham. Here's another one for the Dogs. Oh, it should have been a costly miss from about 25 metres out. The Dogs are 3-3, Norwood 2 points, and we've had 20 minutes.
The Dogs won't have a better opportunity than this to make to take opportunity for a big margin. And I just feel that when the red leg's steady, they might make better use of the ball than have the Dogs in their forward line for most of this quarter. We're 20 minutes in. Third kick to Bubner, and he comes. Mandamaker with the jump. Up he goes! What a sensational mark. It's unusual for Warhurst to give him a ride, or to give any fullback a ride. He knew he was caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. He tried to prop, but in the end he just had to go for it, and I think he knew all the time that Mandamaker was sitting there ready to jump. Let's kick one. The Dogs have 3. The Leagues are in trouble. Second kick. Great conversion rate if he can put this through. Great way to finish a sensational mark on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Oh, that was truly tremendous. We saw Rudy take some big grabs last year. He took a rip snorter at Richmond Oval last season, and that was just as good. Warhurst underneath. Rudy flew and took the big grab, and he's posted his 2nd goal, and that will certainly help his confidence. And the scoreboard reads Central 4-3-27. Norwood only 2 points, but if Central had been accurate, they should have 5 or 6 on the board.
Pittman. And Lounder. It's Lounder again. McAdam first to it. Halfpenny through strongly. Smith over the top of the ball. Their first 2 at the Dogs. In close, they're winning everything at the moment. Staritsky works hard. No support. Jarman there, but no one really getting in close. Chaplin takes it. Gives it out to Coffey. Into goal he goes. Well, that would have hurt the Leagues. But in close, when the hands count, they're winning everything. And when there's a loose ball, they have the numbers.
Yes, and at the 21-minute mark, it's 8 scoring shots for 2. Norwood yet to get on the board. They trail by 26 points. Lounder's down, but Bubner's taken the mark. And all of a sudden, the Dogs have winners all over the ground. Bubner coming out on top of Robran. Kick number 4. Mandamaker. Beautiful lead. Warhurst has had 2 goals kicked on him. Ghazi's leading McIntosh a merry dance. And Greg Smith is doing all the hard work that we expect to see from a player of his experience. Greg Smith has already had 10 touches in this first term. Now, if Mandamaker can kick this, it will be his 3rd goal. Relaxed approach, lays back into it. Mandamaker has 3 in the first term, and the Red Legs are in big trouble.
Well, there's 3 men in your screen. There was Bubner, Mandamaker and Coffey. And between them, they are absolutely cutting the Red Leagues to pieces. Robran started brilliantly, but Bubner started to get away from him. Thomas was great in the first 5 minutes on Mandamaker, but he's kicked 3 now, and Maynard on Coffey is losing the race. Barr might have to do something.
Richard Williams to bounce once more. Lounder's also getting first touch of the ball. He wins it again, but Jarman stole it. But Lounder goes one better. He puts it in towards Ghazi. Lester Ross back there. Great tackle, Mandamaker. The ball out towards Halfpenny. Trevor Rowan kicks it off the ground. Denies Maynard possession. Well, that's Rowe there. In fact, that was Coffey before he socketed off the ground. Kelly to Rowe. McAdam. Staritsky. Good player, Staritsky. Puts it up high. He's only 19. Underneath that was Laird, couldn't take it. James out to Jarman, should get caught. He gets the kick away. He invents different passages of play, Jarman. He's a freak. Out towards Jarman. In fact, I should say Schwert. The ball, Mandamaker now. Opportunity, concedes ground. He goes back to Schwert, but Mandamaker takes his own handball over towards Chopper Hanley. He's on the left boot. He lines up the goals. Oh, and they've missed another one. Really, Neville, they should have kicked 7 or 8 in this term.
Oh, indeed. Kim have kicked 5 goal 5, had 10 shots at goal, and Norwood have not got an answer for them. They cannot get anyone near the ball, near a crumb. They just need to steady. And it's a dangerous time for Norwood. It's only 23 minutes in. There'll be at least another 5 minutes, and the way the Dogs have been going, they've averaged about 1.5 shots at goal every 3 or 4 minutes. And, they're a real chance to get a bigger score. Ball to ground. They get a crumb at last, the Leagues. This time through Thomas. On a lead is McIntosh. Scott Lee read it beautifully and took an easy mark. He's kicked centre wing. Outnumbered 2-1 again. This time it's Rowe. Gave it over to Chaplin. He's short. He has Smith in the pocket or Mandamaker. He'll have to go at goal. There's no other choices. He turns the reverse punt. Close, and that appeared to be out on the full, but the umpire says no, just inside. Well, Staritsky and Thomas on the ball are being killed by this man Smith at the moment, and they must do something about that. Jarman probably holding his own, probably the only player that's been in the play that's holding his own, Kim.
Yeah, and both wingmen for the Dogs are playing well in Rowe and Schwert. They're winning the centre line, or in fact they're winning the wings. And Halfpenny has the job of looking after Greg Smith whilst resting across the half-forward line. We're approaching time on, and the Bulldogs lead by 33 points. As Williams puts the ball to ground. Pittman down towards Rowe, should go long and does. Clears the ball out of the danger zone. That's his first kick, but it goes straight to Lounder, and they just have players everywhere. The handball goes out the back towards a Raider. He sits it up nicely, looking for Mandermaker. He ran into the back of a stack of players then. Picked up by Jarman. Well tackled by Mandermaker. Rowe in there. The handball to Warhurst. That went about 5 metres to find Pike. Now it's a race for pace. And I tell you what, Hereda will beat Craig Barham, no question of that. Will the ball sit? Yes, it does. Hereda back into the traffic, but he gets the handball out to Lounder, and G's giving Pittman a hiding at the moment. Out towards Girdham. Smith was the target, but it sits up high. Mandermaker falls over, and the mark's taken by Pittman.
First mark to Pittman, and first kick. He goes towards half-back. Maynard there against Coffey. Barham right up. Maynard wins out. Goes back to Ross. Long handball to James. It comes off. They're doing everything in a rush, the leagues, and without too much skill at the moment. Here's a perfect example. Weeding's handball is straight, a Rowe. McAdam beautifully taken. Watch him go. Nicely done by Weeding. Stayed with him. No free kick. Maynard to Jarman. Beautifully intercepted by Sickerton. Doing well all over the ground at the moment, the Dogs. He plays on. Stephen Swert, usually plenty of pace. Natural left footer with his fourth kick. Oh, beautifully put. Gilbert McAdam in the centre. McAdam rightly held on to it because Chaplin would have turned into a wall of players long enough to give it to him and let him free. To Mandermaker, he's good again. Great stuff. Chaplin running into the forward line unopposed at the moment, Kim.
And Neville, it makes a difference when the kicks start finding the body like that. That was beautifully executed.
It was, and their runners leading the leagues a merry chase at the moment. Mind you, when you got possession of the ball, it's a little bit easier. 4 marks, 4 kicks and 3 goals, Rudy Mandermaker. You won't do much better than that in 1 quarter of football, and he comes. Big kick. Very close indeed, but just a little offline. So 5-6-36. The Dogs, they lead Norwood. Only 2 points, yet to kick a goal this quarter.
And we've had nearly 3 minutes of time on, and if you use the flags here at Football Park as an indication, it appears that Norwood are kicking with what breeze there is here at the park at the moment. So this is a great quarter of football by the Dogs, and that's a big leap from behind by Halfpenny. The handball went to Jarman straight through his legs. Rowe in there looking for a free kick. Now he gives it to Jarman. He'll have to get rid of it quickly. Does so to Pittman, who searched for Robran. Lounder in there. McAdam through solidly as Ross. But Gilbert picks it up. One way, then the other. Oh, bounced it to himself. And all of a sudden he's in the clear and he puts it out wide. But he only found Stephen Rowe.
What about a Harlem Globetrotter?
It was clever work. Rowe puts it out looking for Barham. Finding a little harder today. He's just not being given the opportunities in this first term. Thomas puts it up. Back underneath that is Scott Lee, and he is the best back pocket player in South Australia, without a doubt. Away he goes. 2 bounces. Kick number 4 coming up. Drops it into centre field and finds Gilbert McAdam. And the magician is off as the siren blows. Central 5-6-36, leading Norwood 2 points. The action on 9's Wide World of Sports. Start of the second term, and the Redlegs trail by 34 points, and I can assure you Neil Barham was not a happy man. He gave his players an absolute blast at quarter time. Oh, taken out of it solidly was Ghazi. I think you'll find the commitment of the Norwood players will be a little bit more... oh, there it is, Barham in solidly, and it's on! Well, I was just about to say you'll see a bit more commitment from Norwood. Staritsky in there, he's tackled from behind by Ghazi. And, oh, there's a player down and hurt. Craig Barham's being spoken to. Greg Smith is having his 2 bobs worth. Rick Kinnear right in the middle. And still a central player down. Let's try and pick up who it is. Looks like it could be Chopper Hanley. Well, he might have done some ribs by the look of it. It all happened pretty quickly. The tackle from Barham was aggressive. But it was fair. I think he may have got some knees in the back.
He's in a lot of pain, and they've called for a stretcher, so it's a real bad blow. McIntosh in your screen. And the Dogs crowd not happy with that as they boo. I don't know whether there's anything all that unfair in it, Kim.
No, without the advantage of seeing it back in replay. It was just Balme. The commitment was strong to the body, and it's just unfortunate the way contact was made. Well, that's the way I saw it.
So, the stretcher. A real blow to the Dogs. A pretty fair player to come back on in Peter Krieg, though. And it will either be a rib or a kidney, I would think. Craig Balme at centre-half forward. Played there last week on O'Donoghue and absolutely carved that player up. Not a natural centre-half forward. More of a pinch-hit player. He could play on the ruck this year as well. Missed most of last year with an injury. And again at centre-half forward today. So Smith with the ball. As Hanley comes off the ground. He's in a lot of trouble, I can tell you. Smith. Got a free kick for it, the Dogs. High. Mandermaker from behind. It's Mandermaker. Well, they're on top, the Dogs. Warhurst lost him. Didn't know where he'd gone. He gave him the slip. And then just snuck around in front of him. Very mobile for a big man. Fifth mark. Fifth kick. 3 goals. And 1 point. Score from all but one of his kicks. Let's have a look at him. Oh, he is absolutely deadly.
Well, Mandermaker in sensational form. Tom Warhurst has enormous problems at the moment. Mandermaker's kicked 4 goals and we've only had 10 minutes into the second term. And more importantly, Central have 6-6 on the board and Norwood are yet to kick a goal. They've managed only 2 points. So they open up this second term with plenty of fire, but still not getting what counts, and that's goals on the board.
The Dogs, 6-6-42, they lead Norwood 2 points. Free kick to the Dogs, someone in the square for the legs. They're making all the mistakes. Lounder now pushes the Dogs forward. Fourth kick, just on the ground, Krieg underneath it. Well spoiled by Robran. Thomas. Oh, the kick is amidst Central players. Roy Laird first to it. Gets it over. I think that's Laird. He got it from Hanley. It wasn't Hanley that went off the ground. We'll have to find that out. We'll work it out in a second for you as Pittman takes an easy mark. Be Trevor Rowe. He's on the other side, though. We'll soon pick it up. James puts it down. Pike, that is. Warhurst. Oh, beautifully dispossessed by Smith on Thomas. They're making something out of nothing all the time. Finally, it's Lynn who got it up to, or Van Dommel who got it up to McAdam. Originally named in the reserves, Van Dommel. Beautiful Shepherd man to make it, to give Coffey an opportunity. Chaplin in space. He'll chip it back. No, he won't. To the big sticks he goes. And a little offline. They are under pressure, the Redlegs, Kim, and they haven't got an answer for them at the moment.
No, they haven't, and the man that came off the ground was young Brian Harada, the actual opponent of Craig Balme. So he has left the arena, and Peter Bubner has gone to centre-half back, and Peter Krieg, I would imagine, is playing out of a forward pocket. So, in all fairness, Brian Harada was doing a great job, but they lose nothing with Bubner going back towards centre-half back, and Krieg, as Neville mentioned, he's not a bad player to have coming off the bench. Robran to Jarman. Craig Balme couldn't control it. It's the boos of the crowd. In there is Bubner. Weeding tried to steal it. James couldn't take it, but he's pushed in the back. And the ball will be relayed back. Are we allowed to play on advantage? And Rose missed, so young James wouldn't be too happy. And they still haven't got a goal.
Nothing going right for the legs at the moment to bring the ball back in. With Butker. Finally, it's Swert. Fifth kick. Through the centre of the ground. Great take by Jarman. Now to Payne. Oh, he's caught the ball. That's a beautiful tackle by Girdham. Number 10. Roger Girdham. 85, 86th league game today. High as Coffey. Halfpenny. Coffey recovers well. Good tackle on him, holding the ball. And it's McIntosh who will get the free kick. Number 14, Gary McIntosh. Plenty of experience. 197. He'll play his 200th in a couple of weeks as he boots the Redlegs into attack. Baum underneath it. Bubner from behind. Baum gets 2 grabs, punches it down. It's Laird who got it up to Girdham. Through the middle of Smith, all by himself. Oh, Ghazi loose. Ross too far up the ground. He's a chance for goal. 7th kick, and they are wasting opportunity after opportunity, the Dogs. 6 goals, 8. 14 scoring shots, and a lot of them have been just like that, Kim. Real opportunities.
Yes, they could have really stitched this game up, and we're only 6 minutes into the second term. That's how much of the play they've had. Lester Ross over the top towards James Pike. Pike's right foot kick's not a good one. In fact, you won't get much worse than that. He's put it over the fence, and that was awful, and he was not under a lot of pressure. And gee, this is about the worst I've seen the Redlegs play, and in fact, that's what Bill Baum said at quarter time. He was irropeable. And my co-commentator Neville Roberts is going out to dinner with him tonight. Good luck, Rock. I don't think it'll be all that enjoyable. McAdam, Smith, great commitment. It's the only way he plays the game. Payne to James, to Jarman. Oh, he's down. Oh, he was hit by Girdham. He did not see him, and he is hurt. It was fair. Oh, so nothing going right for the legs. And Vandermaker has the football. The goal is unprotected. He's put it out on the full, but oh, to Jarman's credit, he is up, and that would have hurt Neville.
Well, it's unusual. He's got eyes on the side of his head, Jarman. He did not see that coming at all. Look at him squint. He is really winded. He won't let anyone know about it. But really unfair to have a camera on him, but he is in a lot of pain, I can tell you, and he won't participate in too many balls too quickly, I wouldn't think. Van Dommel, named in the 2s in the league side. And that'll be a 50-metre penalty, I would think. Vandermaker's the offender. Warhurst with the ball.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier, Neville, that Ingerson didn't line up at centre-half forward. In fact, he has not even taken his place in the side. As we see Hereda coming back onto the ground, and Peter Cree goes back to the bunker. So the Dogs had to make some late changes, but it hasn't affected their football.
It hasn't. Storitsky with the ball. They need him to do something. Out on the lead is Weeding. Opportunity well spoiled by Bodker, and that is a soft free kick. 50 metres out, Weeding. Kicked 4 last week. Or 3, Weeding, all in the first quarter against the Dogs at Richmond. He'll be called to play on. He has on a lead Muster. That's the way it goes. Doug Smart coming on for the leagues. He kicked 6 in the reserves last week as Pittman leaves the ground. And if they ever need a recruit to do well today, it's Doug Smart. They are in hot water, the leagues. Muster. There he is on your screen, number 20. Third kick to Muster. Here he comes. He's first in the league's first on 9's Wide Water Sports.
Yes, he's a clever player, Muster, and Weeding did that well. He was eventually called to play on, but he was looking for leads around the ground, and this 2-prong attack is proving pretty potent for Norwood. They've been starved of opportunities today, but Muster's a good player, and he'll only get better. Doug Smart is into the ruck, and Leander has his back up, though, at the moment. He's playing pretty well.
So Hereda straight back on Baum. Everything virtually as it was at the start of the game. Well, Launder again gets the knock. Free kick, and this time Storitsky. So he's picked up his game, or Jarman. Must have been someone in the square for the Dogs. 7th kick, Andrew Jarman. Seems to recovered all right from that knock. The crumb was Laird's, Lee, now Swert. 7th kick, Bubner with the drop. Watch him go. Oh, what a grab. Robin caught right under the ball. All set for Bubner to do just that. He'll send it in long. Vandermaker will be his target. It's up high. The crowd call for Vandermaker. The crumb is Jarman's. Made a lot of space to get back there. Great handballs to Storitsky. The Redlegs are working more now. Bit of run. Robin with the ball through the centre of the ground. Baum is his target. The ball is poorly put. And Scott Lee comes out and reads it very well. Doing well on the Rovers. His 5th kick. He's got McIntosh to look after today, of course, and Stephen Rowe. A lot of work to do. Beautiful catch, Smith. "14 touches, Smith already. McIntosh and Rowe have 5 and 6 touches each. So led, at least Lee, big job back there, but he's doing all right at the moment. Both of them on the ball, getting a lot of touches. Smith, it's not a bad kick. Just a little offline, though. So 2 points to him, and the Dogs now 6-9. So they could have been at least 10 goals in front of the Leagues if they'd kicked semi-accurately.
Yeah, no question, Neville. The opportunities they've had have not been hard. 15 scoring shots to 4, and a 36-point advantage to the Dogs as Norwood go forward. Halfpenny puts it up towards Thomas. Roy Laird, the spoiler. He's getting better each week, Laird. The handball goes out wide to Raidis, who's obviously just winded. He's back on the ground, and he was obviously pretty keen to get back out there. Schwert to Girdham. Oh, stolen by Thomas. He needs support, though. Finds Jarman. Throws it onto the boot quickly. Little Saad Ghazi out there. So too is Storitsky. The bounce favours Rowe, but the ball is with Ghazi as he spears out a pass to find Schwert. Schwert puts it up high. This gives Mandermaker a chance. He's up. 2 grabs. He's taken it. Oh, well, look at Thomas. Tom Warhurst, he's not happy. But he's just getting under the ball. And once again, the advantage of getting the ball in quickly was highlighted then. And Mandermaker was always going to be a chance. Look at Tommy Warhurst, shakes the head. He's had 4 goals kicked on him. And Mandermaker's about to have his 7th kick. He's taken 6 marks, and to be brutally honest, he has given Warhurst a bath. Now he should kick this. That's his 4th goal. 5th goal.
Mandermaker really proving a thorn for Norwood, and I don't think there's much that Tom Warhurst can do in regards to tightening up on him. The ball's just coming in so often and so regularly that each contest is putting Warhurst under a lot of pressure. As Kim said, he's getting under the ball just a smidge. He might like to sit back and try and run at the ball with Mandermaker, but the Red Leagues, a real contest on their hands at the moment.
Well, 5 goals, and we're only 13 minutes into the second term, Neville. I think Mandermaker was to kick another one. You'd have to contemplate a move. I know Neil has great confidence in Warhurst, but you can't let that continue. The ball comes to ground. Kelly in there. Oh, quick hands to get it to Storitsky. He's been quiet today. He puts it down towards Baum. He couldn't take it. James took it off hands well, but he was also well tackled. Scott Lee, the ever-reliable, puts it out wide. Kelly has the sit. Schwert backed himself in. The crumbs are picked up by Macca. Back to Storitsky. Over the top looking for Kelly. Stolen by Van Dommel. In there, Girdham. Kelly on the ground too, but a free kick's been picked out, and it will go the way of Matthew Kelly. And McIntosh making a little contact with Girdham. Not seen by the umpire. Jarman up high. Didn't take it. Clever work by Chaplin. Over towards Van Dommel. Back to Trevor Rowe. A few of the veterans combining. There's another one. Greg Smith buys a little bit of space. Lines up the goals with his 9th kick. Oh, and he's hit the post. So, 7 goals, 17 scoring shots to 4 points. And Norwood in enormous trouble.
Indeed they are. 43 points behind is big trouble. That's over 7 goals, and they've really got to do something and do it quickly. Smart now might be the player they want to do it. James Pike with the ball as he sends it back towards half forward. We've seen a wing at least. And there's Craig Baum on your screen. A rousing ovation from the crowd. He'll do the ruck work. This, Smart will sit back, also sharing the ruck with Pittman, who's off the bench at the moment. Too high on Jarman, recovered well after that heavy knock. His 9th kick, but Baum well up the ground, there's no one to go to. He sends it on Storitsky, Rowe underneath it. A crumb will be taken by Lester Ross. He'll have to go with goal. Unusual feeling for him from the back lines. Great diving touch by Sikadik. He launched himself at that ball and caught it, I would think, centimetres from the line.
Well, the commitment of this central side has reached new levels today, and Sikadik just proved that then. Leaping, he was airborne. Great effort to stop a certain goal. Now Ghazi with the ball. Short pass with kick number 10. He finds Girdham. Back towards Ghazi. They're too mobile, the Rovers, for the Dogs at the moment. Bubner couldn't take it. Maynard back there. The handball goes out towards Halfpenny. He's tackled by Coffey. The ball goes towards the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in by the interchange coach.
I've got a feeling that there's Peter Krieg, who just came on briefly to give Herrera a chance to recover back in the bench. And what a talent he is sitting on the bunker. A feeling that McIntosh has gone into the centre of the ground. which might mean that the Thomas has gone to it as a rover with Rowe, and maybe Jarman as a ruck row. Opportunity for the legs. Rowe now chips across, opens the face of goal and finds Muster. Good intelligent play by the little fella. And McIntosh definitely in the centre of the ground. And he has won, Muster. And boy, do they need a goal, the Redlegs. Here's a very accurate shot at goal, and he comes with his fourth kick. They kick their second, and much needed it is too.
Yeah, Stephen Rowe very unselfish then. He'd gained the football, he was clear. He was only about 30 metres out, but he saw Sikadik running back towards the goals. He decided to chip the pass over towards Muster, and from 20 metres out he didn't miss. He posted his second, and in fact he's kicked Norwood's total goals today, and that's 2. They're on 2-4-16, trailing the Dogs 7-10-52.
It appears that Jarman is on the ball. Lounder, the chaplain, runs past Pike and Lynn. Ghazi picks up, gets it back to Swert. His kick, Maynard drops a sitter on his chest. Basics not being adhered to by the Redlegs. And they are in tatters at the moment. McIntosh, long off the back is Lee. He's in great touch at the moment. What a jump that was. Ghazi all by himself. Pike gives him far too much room. 11th kick onto Coffey. He goes towards goal. Oh, and very close indeed. 2 points to that player. And Grant Coffey doing well at centre-half forward. Rodney Maynard, his immediate opponent. Warhurst asked to take it back.
And Neville, I think you'll find they haven't moved. It may have appeared that way, but McIntosh still roving. He's picking up Chaplin at the moment. Mack is on the ball. Ghazi resting in the forward pocket, and Lester Ross has picked him up. So it's still McAdam and Jarman. So no moves made centre field at this stage as the ball comes down the ground. Picked up by Halfpenny. He puts it up high. Chopper Hanley there with some heavy body work. It goes out towards Lounder. Steals it. He needed support. Lost it. Jarman, unbelievable the way he finds the football so often, Jarman. I went to Ross, then to Payne. He's been very quiet. Second kick, in fact, he puts it up for Muster. Front position, couldn't take it. Sikadik with a superior reach, and he'll push his ball towards the boundary line. And in fact, did not even end up conceding the point, which was good play. We'll have a throw in the right forward pocket. 19 minutes into the second term. 7-11 the Dogs. Norwood 2-4. And, well, you can't say they're playing awful. It's just the Dogs are playing so well. They're dictating the terms out there. Have a look at that. The tap straight down towards Hanley. He puts one out with kick number 5. Maynard steals it with the right arm. Then sits out a pass looking for Baum. Baum couldn't pick it up. Ran straight over the top of it. So too did Sikadik. Payne in there. Van Dommel wants a holding the ball. Umpire Richard Williams says, "I'll bounce, boys."
At half forward, Baum gets the knock, misses Weeding. Weeding misses it. Jarman in there, gets his hands on it again. And there's not a lot of secrets to what Jarman does. He just bends over and puts his hands on it. A lot of other players sort of hang around packs and don't do much, whereas Jarman's always just looking to get his hands on the ball. Good thing for young players to remember. Once you've got your hands on it, you're a real chance to keep possession. Weeding, Halfpenny, or James it is, decides to hold on to it, goes towards goal, and again, Sikadik. Frustrating for Norwood. The second time he stopped one right on the line. And the Redlegs now go on to 17 points. They trail Central District 7-11-53.
Yes, Norwood will get sick of that. The ball out from Lee.
Nice one, Kim.
Not a good pun, but still.
Pretty sick, I thought.
Not getting any better. Rowe, 20 minutes into the second term. McAdam underneath. He's struggling with Jarman. Jarman's winning that duel. Staritsky in there. And Rick Kinnear blows the whistle. Jarman has had 18 touches. That lady is very involved in the game. 18 touches, Jarman, McAdam 11. They're both finding the ball. The honour's clearly to Andrew Jarman. In there is James around his body. First leading in the chase with Scott Lee. Good bump by Staritsky. Chopper Hanley over the top though. They still have the ball, the Dogs. He gets around Payne. As I mentioned before, Payne's been very quiet. The mark's taken by Van Dommel, the veteran, the former captain. Sweeping left-handed handball goes out towards Schwert. Kick number 10, he takes a bounce. He's waiting for some movement. Eventually it comes in the form of Greg Smith. And he's certainly making a halfpenny earn his stripes today. 17 touches already, Smith. And the thing with Greg Smith, they're normally like that. There's great use of the ball. Now let's watch Bubner's economical kicking style. Very balanced. It's maximum results for what appears to be minimum effort. This will be kick number 6. And he'll be kicking from just inside 50 or just on the 50-metre line. There we go. He just hops it up and hits the distance, but not the accuracy. And Neville, they are assisted by that breeze, which makes their first term even more meritorious.
Yes, it does, Kim. And there's not a lot of breeze there, though. Not really much to work with. Oh, Bubner from behind. The crumb is taken by Kelly. And the fanatical play that the Dogs started with has been tempered a little bit, and I should think Norwood and the Redlegs will be pretty happy about that. But there's no doubt in that first quarter, there was more times than not they were outnumbered 2 or 3 to 1, the Leagues. It's just hard work, whether you do want to do it or whether you don't want to do it. Ghazi underneath it, and Lester Ross free kicked. Been all over the field today, Lester Ross, providing plenty of run. T and Maynard work it out. Grandstand side they come. Underneath it will be Payne. Well spoiled, or at least well contested on that occasion by Laird. Lounder through the centre of the ground. 5th kick. Oh, he's got Coffey. The Handley is good. And turn to Girdham. McAdam providing the run. A chance for a goal from the 50-metre mark. Oh, he's hit the post. Second time this quarter. The Leagues can count their lucky stars if you can say that 7-13-55 to 2-5-7-17 contains any luck at all.
Incredible, isn't it? 20 scoring shots to 7. They really should be 13-7 Central. The shots they've missed have been quite easy. And after losing their first 3 games, gee, the Dogs could not wish to be off to a better start in this game. The ball comes down towards Payne. The handball goes out wide, looking for James. The shepherd applied by McAdam, who fell over the top of James. He now goes back towards Staritsky, who managed to get the ball on the boot for his 7th kick. Weeding underneath. Payne there, but the boundary line wins out once more as we approach the 24-minute mark of the second term. The action on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
David Pittman looking to come back on the ground. I mean that Doug Smart will come off, and that's just happening right now. Lounder, Staritsky. Opportunity now. First out of the blocks is Sikadik. Read it better than Muster. Caught. Lee. Caught. Loose. Laird towards the boundary line. Good play by the Dogs. And there'll be a throw in half forward for the Leagues.
And Neville, Doug Payne was on the ground for about 10 or 12 minutes, for Doug Smart I should say, and he did not touch the football once.
No, the Red Leagues at least changed their rucks at the 15-minute mark, and he would come off regardless of how much play he's been in. It's the policy they have, and they do it religiously. Rowe having trouble picking it up. There are Bulldogs everywhere around him. Weeding, no support at all, nowhere to go. Good, aggressive, vicious tack at the player with the ball, and it's all pretty healthy stuff, and the Dogs doing it well. They can sense that the season is they're losing grip on the seasons. McIntosh forward, Muster out in the lead, drops a chest mark. The 3rd or 4th the Red Leagues have dropped today. Rowe gets it out to McIntosh. He chips it across the front of goal. Jarman was his target. Smith first to it. He runs it out of bounds. And Kim, you can see that the pressure has had its effect on the skills of the Red Leagues, dropping chest marks and making mistakes with their hands. Pretty unusual in good conditions.
Certainly is. Balm taps it back. In there working hard. The crumbs are picked up by Laird, stolen by Payne. Tackle is applied by Laird. And we'll have a bounce once more in front of the scoreboard, which reads Central 7-13-55, Norwood 2-5-17. Richard Williams officiating with Rick Kinnear. Williams puts the ball to ground. Balm wins the tap, but it's stolen by Smith once more. There's no question he's the catalyst of most attacks in this Central side. His work rate is exceptional. The ball goes back from Van Dommel. The pass in turn out from Hanley to Chaplin to Smith. In turn to Rowe, out towards McAdam. Smith is just everywhere when you consider the amount of injuries this man has had. McAdam streams centre field. Kick number 8 is offline, and perhaps Rudy not sure where the goalposts were. I thought he may have dived at that one.
3 points, and you can see that Rudy was just giving Gilbert a bit of advice, like, why didn't you kick it to me? Warhurst, Pike. Maynard makes the space grandstand side. 8th kick to Pike. Good Shepherd Robberin on Gert or Swerve, and a good catch by Barn. 2nd kick to Barn, Weeding high, ball to ground. First to it, Storitsky, plenty of pace there. He's got to go wide to Muster. With him again is Sikadix, doing a good job on him at the moment. Gets it up quickly to Chaplin. His kick is beautifully put to find Van Dommel. Coffey tries to outrun Thomas, manages to get around the corner and turn up towards Mandamaker, but well and truly past that player and out of bounds. Time on in the second quarter, 7:14:56, 2:5:17, and the Dogs well and truly in control.
And Rudy's pretty eager, just like those boys are. Rudy's kicked 5 and he wants as many chances as he can get, and they're just not coming the last 10 minutes. Ball is going wide and rather indirect. Pretty hungry to kick a few goals. He's had a lean period. The Dogs will get another one. Chaplin will kick it. How easy is that? He's kicked his first. Central have kicked their 8. They move along to 62 points, absolutely giving the Redlegs a bath at the 27.5-minute mark of this second term.
Well, it was anyone's ball in the pack there, but it's been the loose contest that Norwood have found so hard to get. And it was Bubner, whose quick mind booted it towards the goal square, and Chaplin was on the goal side of the pack, on the attack side. It's not a bad place to be in your forward line. Easy goal to him, his first.
The tap won by Lounder. McAdam tried to push it forward. Players jump on top. And we'll have a bounce once more. Couldn't be too much time remaining in this term. Just to highlight the inaccuracy of Central, they have kicked 3 goals, 8 this quarter. And the Redlegs have managed 2 goals, 3. Ghazi once more. Geez, been a good player. Out towards Bubner. And you're right, Neville, sheer weight of opportunities are making it very difficult for the Norwood defence. Now, Bubner should get the distance. Kick number 8. But not the accuracy, and that is out of bounds on the full. So I'd hate to think of the opportunities they've squandered, the Dogs. Just imagine if they'd made the most of them. The game would well and truly be over. Coffey takes the mark uncontested. Thomas just stood there. Now he also will get the distance, and I'm prepared to back that he'll get the accuracy.
Well, he's a player with plenty of potential, and it's just starting to crystallise for him. Centre half forward, he was named on the bench, and since being named there, McAdam into space, he'll go to goal.
I think he perhaps should have used McAdam. Have a look at that for a kick, though. Oh, he's kicked the goal. He took the best option. That's his first.
Well, Grant Coffey is a player with an enormous future in league football. He's only played 43-odd games, 34 last year, played all the Foundation Cup. He can play in ruck, he can play at full forward or a forward pocket. As I said, named on the interchange today. With the withdrawal of Ingerson, he's come straight onto the ground, started at centre half forward. He's doing a great job on Maynard, and really a player with a big future.
The tap won by Lounder once more. In there is Storitsky. Over the top is Schwert. Out towards Van Dommel. He's picking up a few touches, and he's doing the hard work too. It goes down towards Rowe. Payne. Now out towards Storitsky, coming into the game a little. He hooks it back. Muster's the target. He takes front position. Oh, coming in was James Weeding, and the mark's been paid. Well, Botka has no qualms about that. He puts the hands in the air. He's snuck back a couple of metres from where the mark was actually taken. This is Weeding's first mark. So as he's about to kick this ball, which will be his 4th, you'll find that Botka will run in about 2 metres. And then Weeding should be aware of that. Here he comes. Up he comes. All legal. And maybe effective as well, because a point results. Norwood 2-6, 18 points. Well, they trail by 50 points, Neville, and we've had nearly 31 minutes.
Yes, I don't think the Redlegs would have budgeted for this sort of deficit at half-time. Had a terrible start. And after last week, you would have expected more. Thomas fights for front position and really drops that. His hands are normally better than that. Chaplin does the roving. Oh, he's got Smith. Now Coffey. Oh, and Thomas meets him heavily, but it's all too late. And a loose man was set up. There's a player down behind player, Central District player. It looks like Smith is limping. Twisted his leg as he twisted his ankle. I would suggest that's ligaments in his foot. They can be very, very painful, but they can go away in 3 or 4 minutes as well and find yourself feeling all right. Let's hope it's the case for him. 40 metres out. Coffey with his 7th kick. He has 1 goal. It's not a bad attempt. Once again, they're offline. They have been for 2 quarters, the Dogs. 9-15-69. They go in well in front of Norwood. 2-6-18. The action's on 9's Widewater Sports. The Redlegs have made a few changes after being thrashed in the first half here at Football Park. Round 4 against the Dogs. Weeding has come out to centre half forward. Doug Smart to full forward. Balm has been taken off, and so too has Keith Thomas. They've been thrashed with their on-the-ball division and across the centre. They haven't done much in their forward line. Matthew Kelly sends them forward. Underneath it, Sikadic, who's been a real thorn in their side, and been in the way of most of their forward thrusts. Justin Strutsky's been a good player for them, but for the Dogs, this man with the ball, McAdam, has been a star. 16 touches. So too is Swirt with 16 touches. Ghazi's had 14. Smith has had 20. The on-ball players have been quite brilliant. Rowe's 10th kick straight into the man on the mark. The player he kicked it into was Andrew Zimmerman. Only played a handful of games. In fact, this is his 6th as he kicks them forward. Out in front. Worcester gave it to Payne, who'll be run down, caught with the ball, pretty close to holding it, and umpire Williams agrees.
He's pretty quick with the whistle, umpire Williams. Nevertheless, Payne playing on a half-forward flank. Now Zimmerman's been moved on to Rowe because Rowe gave Payne an absolute hiding in that position. Now the handball goes over from Girdham to Smith. Oh, he spears that pass into Bubner, and it was a beautiful kick. Bubner couldn't take it, though. Now he drives one in with kick number 9. Rudy front possession. He's taken the mark, and he holds it up for the crowd to see. He's taken 6 big marks today, and he's kicked 5 goals from his 10 kicks. Not even 2 minutes into this 3rd term, and the Dogs have another opportunity to surge further ahead. Big Rudy. The angle quite evident. The distance not a problem. All up to the execution, which he puts through for his 6th goal.
Well, the Redlegs' demise continues. Man to make us 6 goals has been obvious target for the Dogs, and he's been in disastrous form over the first 3 rounds of this year, and I'm sure would have been pretty close to his last chance today before being replaced by Mitchington, who's kicked upwards of 15 goals in the reserves. And the Legs are a real challenge ahead of them, and they don't look like matching it at the moment.
Richard Williams, centre field, bounces the ball. Pittman wins the tap down to Jarman. He kicks it up high in the air. It goes out wide as well. First player there will be Kelly. He's flanked by James. Kelly takes it, kicks around his body, and that ball finds the boundary line at the northern end, about 60 metres around from the Norwood goal. Doug Smart at full forward. Worcester in the forward pocket. He's kicked 2 goals. They both came in the 2nd term. In fact, he's the leading goal kicker for Norwood because he's the only goal kicker. Weeding and Lounder. Lounder's doing it well out there today. Down towards Scott Lee. Picked up by Chopper Hanley. Left foot kick around his body. His left for Pittman to take. The handball goes over the top and finds Pike. Pike puts it up high. Players set themselves. Underneath it, Scott Lee punches it down towards Lounder. Sockers it off the ground. It goes straight out towards Schwert. He gives it to Ghazi. He hooked that round his body to find Chaplin. Perhaps should have gone for distance. The loose ball finds McIntosh, who spears out a pass. Kick number 7, looking for Muster. Has the sit, takes the football and should kick his 3rd goal. It's unprotected, and he put it through the middle.
Well, McIntosh had a couple of players to use then. He chose to use Muster, mostly because of what you saw on your screen. One out. He's a great contester. His hands are beautiful. And if he's anywhere within 40 or 50 yards of goal, he's always an opportunity to kick it. He took it on the first bounce in his hands beautifully. Had to shrug Sikovic, who's actually played pretty well on him, despite the fact that he's managed to kick 3 goals. Sikovic would be up in central good players. And he went to goal and made no doubt about it. 6 last week and 3 today.
Pittman to do battle with Lounder. Lounder's done it pretty well today, and he wins that tap as well. Out towards Jarman, tried to steal it, couldn't do so. But a high tackle. The free kick will go the way of Kelly, as Ghazi and Champion have a few words. But Matthew Kelly with the football. Plays on with a handball out towards Staritsky. He puts it out wide and somewhat indirect, searching for Weeding. He couldn't get there. This will let the Dogs in. I feel they should be playing a little more direct than this, Neville, if they want to get back into the game. Kicking out wide's making hard work of it. But Rowe has the ball before he was run down by Schwert, and there'll be a throw in on the outer side.
Well, they've been unable to win in the major positions, and that always lends itself to sides being a little indirect. But apart from that, the pressure that Central have put on Norwood today has forced errors which have opened up cracks that I'm sure Neil Barn didn't even realise were there. And proud of their skills and ball handling. It's come apart today. It's been very costly. Pittman. Underneath it, Laird is good. Strong in defence. Plenty of moves at half-time. And Barn hoping they will come off. One of the most important ones, I guess, will be Smart at full forward. He's conceded one of his major goal kickers, Weeding, to centre-half forward. Beautifully intercepted on to Ghazi. Now to Bubner. Back in that forward pocket on Robin. He runs into the open goal. Tight angle. And you can't blame him for missing that one, but it's really the others that they've missed, Kim, that have been more costly. It's all right if they're on those angles or under pressure, but a lot of their goals, particularly some of McAdams, have been straight in front.
Warhurst in towards Robrin, and I agree with you, Neville, as the ball is pushed out wide, and Matthew Kelly's having a good third turn. Short pass in, looking for Jarman. They tried to pick it up on the half volley, now taps it out towards McIntosh, who gives it back towards Payne. Players running wide, but Payne decides to go more direct and puts it out towards Rowe. Couldn't take it. Scott Lee, though, is penalised for pushing in the back, and he's not real pleased about that decision. I think there was a little nudge there.
No doubt about it, the free kick was there.
Stephen Rowe, not the most accurate kick for goal. Kick number 5, he's had a pretty lean day. And he's put one. Oh, he managed just a point, and he really is pretty inaccurate in front of goal. We're nearly 7 minutes in, and Norwood a mile behind.
Amazing how you can do that in front of goal, and same player can kick 40 yards in field without a problem at all. Straight, that is. McAdam being one of the best. 20 touches, second this quarter. Short. It finds number 37. Robert Hanley. The kick is poor. Lounder was the target. Not a very mobile player to go to. Smith, inaccurate. James takes advantage of it. Jarman sends it in high. Smart from behind. Manages to recover. Hooked around the neck. No free kick. Straightens up. Goes towards goal. First kick. It's a goal. The moves might be working for Barn.
Yes, and that was great play by Doug Smart. It was good for Norwood, but more importantly, it's good for the man himself. That will lift his confidence. He copped one high, he played on, he sold the dummy, back on the right foot. He kicked off balance, but he put it through the middle. He's posted his first. Norwood have kicked their fourth. Central 10-15-75, Norwood 4-7-31, and we played 8 minutes.
44 points. Long way home for the Red Leagues. Centre of the ground, Lounder. First time it's been a break even. Lounder's had the better of the rucks all day. Taken by Maynard, he's caught, handballs forward. Zimmerman in there, does well, fighting hard. Pushed off the ground by Coffey and turned to Chaplin. Now to Schwert from a wing on Kelly, been a good duel. Ghazi back to Schwert is good. Let run down by himself, he goes towards goal. What a great goal by Schwert.
Well, there is the quick reply. Stephen Schwert moving down from his centre wing. His opponent is Matthew Kelly, who's picked up a few touches in this first term, but he was caught a mile behind on that occasion, and Schwert snapped one through beautifully, and well, thus negating that goal that Norwood just kicked. Central 11-15 now, Norwood 4-7.
Eight minutes into the third quarter, round 4 at Football Park. The Dogs in the legs. Yet to win a game. Central, they're well on the way here at Football Park today. Lounder puts them into attack again. Chaplin, Rowe, few touches in the first half. Staritsky, probably Norwood's best, pushes them forward again. His 12th kick. The bounce favours Jarman. He has McIntosh short. It'll go back to him again. Left foot. Muster is good. Muster thinks twice about going on. Has 3 goals. His 6th kick. And already proving in limited games to be a very valuable player up forward. He is a real talent. On that occasion offline, but his conversion rate still intact. 3 goals, 2.
Yeah, that was a goal they really needed. The short pass from Botka finds Hanley. Kick number 9. He works pretty hard, Chopper Hanley. Puts it down towards the outer wing. Picking it up is Pike. He's been quiet. Gets a wobbly kick away. Finds Staritsky. In turn towards Kelly, who drives in long. Back there, Musto! Gee, I wonder if that would have gone through. He had to go for it, though. He wasn't aware where the goalposts were. That was very close.
Well, the good thing for the Redlegs is that they're in their forward line a lot more often than they were in the first half. Lee makes the run on McIntosh, gets away with it. Girdham, beautifully done. Good run by Rowe, continuing to work from the first quarter as he sends him through half forward. Ghazi underneath it. Great catch, he plays on, he'll run into the open goal. Doesn't make a mistake, he kicks his first.
Well, that was brilliant play, and kick number 15 saw him post his first goal, but he had to stand his ground in the pack. There were 2 Norwood players there. He not only took the mark, but he weaved between them through the back door and into an open goal. And gee, Central are looking pretty good, and that lad's played with a lot of courage today. 15 kicks already. Central motoring along there on 12-15-87, leading Norwood a merry dance 4-9-33.
Umpires today, Richard Williams with the ball, and with him Rick Kinnear. Pittman, but it's Chaplin who gets it. Must be wondering where his rovers are. There he is, Stephen Rowe. Kicks forward, centre wing. Out by himself. It's Trevor Rowe. Around the corner to Smith is good. Greg Smith now. 15th kick towards Mandamaker. It's poor. Coffey does backing up. Chips it back over the back. If Mandamaker can get through, Warhurst right with him. Players go to ground. Kelly there. Bubner works hard. Almost a brilliant piece of play, and Neil Curley must be feeling just a smidge relieved. His club's destiny, I felt today, was really and truly on the line.
Nell Basters responded once more. Unbelievable. They're off to a similar start last year, Central, getting thrashed in the first 2 games. I think the Eagles beat them by something like 117 points in the second match of the year. The Dogs bounce back, and they look like doing the same here. Thrashed by Port in their first game, and beaten by North Adelaide after putting up a better performance, and then just losing on the last kick of the day to the Warriors. So they've been building up to a win, but Norwood were red-hot favourites. This man certainly had a lot to do with it. Ghazi, as he drops it back looking for McAdam. Going through there was Halfpenny. In there is Ross. Maynard trying to push it through. Stephen Rowe steals it. Oh, the umpire blew the whistle, then called on. He blows the whistle far too quickly, Richard Williams. It goes back towards Lounder. In turn, out towards Rowe. This is about the best football I've seen Trevor Rowe play. Kick number 8. He's been in fine form every time we've seen them this year. The ball at the back of the pack. Oh, Rowe brilliantly by Chaplin. He lines up the goals. He's just offline with kick number 14.
He has 1 goal, and a little offline then. Gavin Chaplin, been a good player today. Playing his 55th game for the Bulldogs. Halfpenny from back pocket. 8th kick is long, centre wing. Oh, Payne underneath it, but Smith there, Fugazi at least. Similar hairstyles, different colour of course. 17th kick to McAdam, who is running right in the centre of the ground. His kick is long, it's poor. Lester Ross there, ball to ground. Lester Ross first to it, Bubner with him. Then you have to look at Bubner's face to realise he's given away a free kick. Norwood need to do something and do it quickly. So they go to Rowe. His kick is high. And they keep losing possession. Finally, a centre-half forward decides to come down far enough to take a mark. And that's James Weeding. His 5th kick. Underneath it is McAdam going the wrong way. Thought twice about it. He will end up with the crumb, though. Finally gets it back and underneath it, Rowe again. Zimmerman with him. Good individual contest. I agree with your comments, Kim, that Trevor Rowe, being nicknamed the human glove, had so many tagging roles. It's good to see him on a wing and good to see him display his skills, of which he has an abundance.
Yes, and it's not too often he's played against Norwood when he hasn't had to chase a man wearing number 8 around the ground. Of course, Aish out injured with that bad back. It's Rowe showing he can be a very creative footballer. The ball comes to ground. Jarman picks it up. They need some magic for this man if they're ever to get back into this game, and he hasn't let them down, kicking a goal with his 15th kick. But they only have 5, Norwood, and the Bulldogs have 12, and we've had 15 minutes of the third term.
Well, Andrew Jarman is just a valuable player, and that probably understates him considerably. He can do absolutely anything with the football. But this quarter particularly, McAdam has really shown him a clean pair of heels. And he managed to get back some of his own on that occasion, kicking a goal. His first half was pretty brilliant, and he certainly wasn't Norwood's worst player. They need a lot more from him for the rest of the game.
Yes, both players have had 6 kicks this quarter. Launder won the tap, but there's Jarman's forte, though. That's his craft. Gets a quick handball. The ball comes down the ground. Rowe out towards James. James lines up the goals. He's just offline. There's another point. Norwood 5-10. Central 12-16.
Bring the ball back in. Used to be Bodka. Long. Launder. Smith punches it forward on McAdam again. Have a bounce. Girdham comes into Shepherd. He'll run around Halfpenny. Goes in long. And to make it, steadies. Takes it on the half volley. Oh, there are Dogs players everywhere. From behind, Coffey. Bubner with a chance. Easy as you like. He gets out of players. Shouldn't be able to do it that easily. Chip short. Finds Krieg. Well, that was just far too easy. Mandamaker went to that ball half pace, which would have given Norwood players a chance to get him. He gave it on to Bubner. Bubner weaved his way out of 4 Norwood players and chipped short to Krieg. First kick, lucky for the legs, it's not a goal. For Crum, Halfpenny. Now to Robbery. Left foot, Staritsky. Beautiful take. Magnificent hands, this boy. 14 kicks. Straight down the line. Payne's his target. Payne off a half-forward flank at the moment. Laird hurt himself in that contest. First back to it is Handley. Back to Laird. Caught well on that occasion by James. Weeding pushed it back inside. James there again. Caught with the ball and holding the man. Well, McAdam not happy with that, but as he gesticulates, contesting the decision, it won't get changed, I can assure you. The umpire, Richard Williams, points out where the mark is. So, number 45, Brett James puts it in long, no mark. Off hands, Schwert to Lee, props. Oh, he's got Smith loose in the centre of the ground. That is a beautiful kick. Run down on that occasion by Muster, his 6th kick. Ghazi drops it, and he was off and to goal if he'd held on that. Ross to Palm, who has just come on the ground. Change of rucks. You can count on that at the 15-minute mark. Oh, Muster dropped his head there. Expected the clouds to come down on top of him, I think. Girdham on to Lee, and they're out of trouble.
The kick out wide looking for McAdam. He was nudged out of it by Zimmerman, but he'll end up with the last laugh as he has the football on the grandstand wing, and he punches that to the boundary line, and that was his only option, and he assessed the situation brilliantly. There were 3 Norwood players downfield. And that's why he's a Magarey medalist. He's a class act. 19 minutes into the third term. The Dogs 12-16-88, leading Norwood 5-10-40, a 48-point advantage. Balm and Mandermaker. The ball goes down towards Rowe. Had a quiet day. Gets it out towards Pike. He hasn't been all that prominent either. Back there is Lounder. Weeding had to stand his ground. 2 against 1 as the ball is punched back to Hanley. They seem to have players everywhere, Central. Numbers at the fall of the ball. That's the secret as it's punched out towards Schwert. He's covering plenty of territory. This man's having a great game, Rowe. He goes back towards Laird. Raider, in fact, it was. Now it's Schwert. He kicks around his body. Craig Balm gets the kick. He puts it straight on the chest of Richard Lounder. Approaching the 20-minute mark, not a lot of movement up forward. In fact, players are absolutely motionless. Now it's driven in towards centre half forward. Coffey, the target, couldn't take it. Oh, he had a fair crack at it though. Picked up by Rowe, trying to work his way into the game. He punches it out wide to Payne. Payne's been well beaten today. Laird disposed of him. He puts out a short pass and he finds Hanley.
Hanley playing well today at half back. Bubner also doing a pretty good job. Gurdon do as they like at the moment. Chaplin, Bubner, Lee well up from full back. Goes towards goal. Kicks his first in a brilliant piece of play. And the Dogs absolutely murdering the Redlegs here at Football Park.
Well, Neville, it's a football lesson, not just for Norwood. It's a football lesson for anyone sitting out there and watching, especially young juniors. The way they're running the ball, they're running in numbers, and they just had all the answers as they moved that ball through the centre field. Just handball after handball. Eventually it was Scott Lee who had moved all the way down from his back pocket, and full credit to Scott Lee after that effort, receiving a goal. Central's 13th.
In ruck it'll be Bubner and Balm. Balm gets the knock on that occasion. Rowe comes out with it. Plenty of pace there as he goes to Zimmerman. The legs go forward. On a lead is Smart. That's the way it goes. And the applause is for Lounder as he comes off the ground. Rene van Dommelen. 19 taps to Lounder. 13 touches. In your screen, Doug Smart. Second kick has 1 goal. He's 45 metres out, or kicks off the 50-metre line. It's a beautiful kick, showing some reasons why they got him from North Adelaide. That's his second.
Yeah, that was a beautiful kick. He had to kick from about the 50-metre line and didn't really look to pass off anywhere. He was confident the distance wouldn't be a problem, and that ball went like an arrow. But, oh, they're a long way behind. They're trailing by 8 goals, the Redlegs, and we've already had 22 minutes of this third term.
Umpire Williams will initiate play again. Balm in ruck. Bubner with him. The latter gets the mark. Oh, McAdam, that is absolutely brilliant. Underneath it, Ghazi and Ross. Gurdon. Now Coffey off the ground. Ghazi again a chance. Oh, right, absolutely steamrolls Ghazi. No free kick. Round the corner was Pike. Oh, underneath it, Bubner. They're winning the air duels at the moment as Gurdon sends them into attack. From behind, Mandermaker couldn't complete it. Warhurst took the front position and jumped at it. And that looked a lot more comfortable for him than getting caught underneath it, as he has so often today. He's been bombarded with opportunities as Mandermaker, and he's responded pretty well. The man has 5.
As we approach the 23-minute mark, Big Rudy has kicked 6. He kicked 1 in this third term. 5 or 6, he's still been a good player. And Tommy Warhurst has had his work cut out. Big Rudy, he's also missed a couple. As the ball is tapped down towards Rowe. He has lifted his work rate in this third term. Kick number 9. Race for pace. First man there will be Schwert. He allows that ball to go over the line in front of our sign for Mark Kelly's Pies. Had one today, they're not bad. So the ball to be thrown in by boundary umpire Peter Litchfield on the outer side. Coffey to do the ruck work opposed to Balm. Jarman picks up another kick. He puts it up very high. It was kick number 16. Laird punched that quite easily. Roy Laird, I'll get that right shortly. And oh, there's a great mark taken by Van Gommel. He's shown some form, a return to form this afternoon. 9 touches, out looking for man to make it close to the pocket, but he's taken the mark. He's had 7 marks for the day. He's kicked 6 goals. A very difficult angle. He should be looking to pass off. Norwood appear to have the leads pretty well covered. So Big Rudy, a specialist full forward, will chance his arm from about 35 metres out. The right foot kick is on its way, goes across the face of goal and eventually out of play as 2 Norwood players spoil each other, and that was Halfpenny and Maynard.
Richard Lounder in your screen, young Tony Lynn by the looks of it, and a little device on his knee earlier, and it might spell a bit of danger for him. Around the corner, Chaplin makes no mistake, kicks his second.
Yes, well, we're talking about a little bit of danger, and Chaplin picked the ball up, and they're doing it so easily. The Dogs snapped around on the left boot, kicked his second with his 15th kick, and they've just had winning rovers. That's been the difference. In fact, run-on players all over the ground. In fact, to be brutally honest, it's very hard to find any winners for Norwood, apart from perhaps Andrew Jarman, who's played wide of McCadden. They've both been solid contributors.
Balm. Maybe he should have been recalled there, but he hit it straight on that occasion to Swert. On to Krieg. He goes wide to Ghazi. They're keeping possession of the footy, at least the Dogs. Oh, just look impotent at the moment. Don't even look dangerous. Rice weaves his way out of trouble. Handball over the top of McIntosh. Does well to win it back with a good tackle. Ross again caught. Good tackle on him. Gurdon mops up. A half volley by Bubner is very good. He's not chased. Goes well into the depth of goal. Man to make it there. Well spoilt by Warhurst off the ground. Certain goal if he'd made contact. Warhurst clears. Jarman high. Play on's the call as he handballs to Maynard. Good catch by the centreman. Staritsky weeding on a lead. 5th kick by this player. Too high, 15th I should say. Payne and Laird. Payne weaves. Beautiful smother by Laird. Krieg caught with possession from his leads. Goes wide to Ghazi. McCadden provides the run. Playing well apart from each other are both Jarman and McCadden. In his 18th kick, McCadden finds Bubner. Beautifully put out in front of this occasion by Stephen Swert. Natural left footer. He'll turn it back in towards the face of goal. Oh, here we go again. Manamaker! In between the 2 Norwood players, and Tom Warhurst looks into the never-never for some sort of assistance.
Well, Neville, he's got him totally mesmerised at the moment. Manamaker called for it in long when he saw Swert had the ball, and well, you saw Warhurst and Craig Barn. They didn't know where to go, and what Rudy did was watch the football.
I think between them they were counting on each other, and there must have been a lack of exchange of voices, and Tom Warhurst looking at the ground, he is so annoyed. I don't think he can believe it himself. Manamaker kicks his 7th.
Yes, well, he should feel a little nonplussed, Tom Warhurst. It's not too often someone kicks 7 on him, and we're still in the 3rd term, so there could be more to come. But really, full credit to Rudy Manamaker. He just materialised then. He was behind the 2 Norwood players in Barm and Warhurst. He emerged in front of both of them and eventually took the ball on his chest, much to the dismay and astonishment of both Norwood defenders. And the runner is out there talking to Tom Warhurst now. And, well, what do you say when a bloke kicks 7 on you?
I could tell you what you should say. The runner's job isn't to take him back. I'm sure that his farm is not going to not send messages just because the score doesn't read well. First to it, Chaplin. Ross with him. Working hard, Lester Ross. Hasn't done a bad job under a lot of pressure. His kick towards Weeding makes the distance. And they find a body. Haven't done it very often. 6th kick. Smart on a lead. Has looked good at full forward. And they look to have some method with this player moving pretty well. 6 goals last week in the reserves. Keith Thomas in the bunker talking to David Pittman. They shake their head. Adrian Porter, the club doctor, talking to them both. And I'm sure they're not talking about medicine. I don't think Keith Thomas is shaking his head in consideration of whether Doug Smart will kick it or not. I'm sure he was as confident as we were. 3rd goal.
Yes, and they've all come in this 3rd term, and it Well, it's been the only shining light for the Redlegs. There's really been nothing to talk about in regards to today's performance. They have been extremely ordinary. The commitment with Central was full on from the outset, and it really did shock and rock Norwood. In fact, we could hear Neil Baum at quarter time, and he gave his side an absolute rocket. But his team has not responded to his requests.
Bubner again. Norwood have taken a beating in ruck today. Well, that's not the only position to take a beating, and McIntosh was growling about some things. There's a chat to umpire Williams. 14 for the Redlegs, affectionately known as Macca. Zimmerman through. Off the ground is good. Jarman in the way. Forward. Smart again. Oh, he's met heavily, and I didn't see too much danger in that. It might have just got him a bit high as Doug reaches for his head, and that's obviously what happened. Good commitment by Smart on that occasion, but also good, tough, hard body work by the Dogs. Scott Lee doesn't shirk an issue, nor does that man in your screen. Bodka, Sickerdick, pretty tough defence. You know all about it when you've played on that. 50 metres, Doug Smart. He has 3 all this quarter. He punches at that. It'll go very close. That's his 4th. A great individual effort by Doug Smart.
Well, this has been good to watch by Doug Smart. He had 1 run in the second term for about 10 or 12 minutes and only managed 1 handball when he was on the ground. He was then removed, has re-emerged in the third term, and he's kicked 4 goals in this third quarter. He's only had the 4 kicks, and the good point about it is 3 of those have all come from the 50-metre mark, and it's been beautiful football to watch. Norwood putting some respectability into the scoreboard, 8-10. They trail Central 15-16.
48 points the difference. 8 goals, in fact. And you need 9 at least to win, and can't let Central kick 1. Arithmetic doesn't look too good, does it? And only 1 quarter to go. And a lead, Mandamaker. 1-2 grabs is good. He has 7, 9 marks, 11th kick. Great conversion rate. Tom Warhurst. Oh, I bet he wishes it was the last quarter. He was well and truly on his tail then, Warhurst, but Mandamaker showed good pace and good hands and skill to hold on to that. Bounced out, grabbed it again. Let's see if he can't kick number 8. Well on his way to 10. Great recovery by Mandamaker. No problems with that as the siren sounds for 3/4 time here at Football Park. The Dogs 16-16, 112. They lead Norwood 8-10, 58. The action's on 9's Wide World of Sports.
Ah, yes, yes, oh now, oh, yes.
Start of the final term, Central 16-16, 112. Norwood 8-10, 58. And Neville Roberts, a former Norwood player, can't believe it. He was more than confident coming to this game this afternoon. Full credit to the Doggies. Roy Laird to the outer side. Neville just said, watch him come back. If he's interested in taking bets. Not the way the side's been playing for the Dogs today. Greg Smith has been in sensational form. He's inspirational. Kick number 17. It wasn't one of his better ones. Staritsky trying to lift for the Redlegs. Lounder in pursuit. He's pretty mobile, Lounder. Puts it in towards Weeding. Couldn't control it, but back there taking the crumbs is Hereda. And he puts it out wide to the outer side looking for Girdham. And Girdham is taken over the line. And the umpire says that's okay. And the ball will be thrown back into play.
Robin has gone to, appears to have gone to centre-half back on Coffey. Pike has gone to a back pocket on Bubner. Thomas to a half-back flank on Krieg. Plenty of changes, and there's more of them. We'll update you as we get a chance to work them all out. I think Neil Baum dropped his magnetic board and then just put the board down on top of it. That's where you're playing. Bit cynical, but probably what he should have done. And a hopeless day for the legs. Payne, Staritsky, Weeding on a lead. Too high for that player. Judging it well as Lee. Been a good player again today. Smith, clever back to Lee. Plenty of run in his legs. Ghazi. Oh, he's caught by Zimmerman. Still going Lee. Well up the ground. What a great individual effort. Finally, it's Rowe. Had a good day on the wing. Mandamaker underneath it. Warhurst with him, ball to ground. Thomas now off his half-back flank. Gives Kelly an opportunity. Very close and with him is Swirt. And the ball is kicked over the line and out of bounds. Maynard goes to centre-half forward. Virtually a reverse of defence to forward play. He started at centre-half back on Coffey, of course. Robert is there. Pike caught beautifully by Swirt. That's a great tackle. Pike not happy.
No, but Stephen Swirt has the football. And the desperation has been a feature today. Ghazi's been a great play. He was taken out of it. Norwood have the numbers. The ball goes from Staritsky, in fact, Payne to McIntosh. Over towards Kelly. The free kick would have gone to Macca. Play on advantage as Zimmerman drives the ball in. Try halfpenny. He's found Doug Smart. And once again, Doug Smart will be kicking from 50 metres out. But this time, Neville into a slight breeze.
Yes, it's been some reward for Norwood at taking the chance on Smart. His form has been down. And he's kicked in that third quarter 4. Short to Weeding is good. Showing his value, Smart. So plenty of moves, as I said before, and McIntosh to a back pocket on the Rovers, which means Lester Ross might be off the ground, and that would be because he's injured rather than because he's not playing well, I would think. But Robber into half back. Maynard to half forward, which leaves Weeding back at full forward. 7th kick, offline. 2 points he's kicked. Thomas to a half back flank, so just moves galore, nothing to lose.
Sikadik puts it out to Lounder, making plenty of moves, but they're still not picking up their opponents. The ball now put out towards Rowe. He's played a great game. Completely thrashed David Payne. He's had 19 touches. He's now opposed to Zimmerman. The ball put back into Lounder. He's called out of that by Robrin. McAdam in there, held by Jarman. Play on the call. Lounder out to Coffey. A wobbly torpedo punt goes out towards Warhurst. He should be able to control that. He's had 8 goals kicked on him today, Tom Warhurst. The day he'd like to forget. He puts it back towards Staritsky. Takes a good mark. And Ghazi committed himself well. 50 metres. They'll need more than that. Now, he's down on the wing. Actually, race Rick Kinnear back to the mark. Kick number 19. Hasn't been a star today, Staritsky, but he's worked hard. Pretty hard to stand out when you're getting walloped like this. Maynard, the ball back towards Payne. Payne very indirect. He's only had 5 kicks, and that was awful. A raider in short to Lounder. He's played a great game, Richard Lounder. Over towards Chaplin. Held back on that one, looking for Budner. Takes the mark easily. Should get it in one-on-one towards Mandamaker. It goes in that direction, but the mark's taken by Coffey. It plays on quickly as Matthew Robrin falls down, and he posts a goal. In fact, his 2nd goal with his 10th kick.
Well, Norwood are playing poorly. I think everyone concedes that, but when you allow players to walk away from a mark like that, that is pretty bad. And backmen involved in that particular play need to check themselves a fair bit. You've really got to hold a player. I mean, from that point, he was 40-odd metres out. They allowed him to walk into an open goal. Nobody even bothered to turn around and see what he was doing. Coffey playing well, centre-half forward. What a great move by Curley to put him there. And maybe that's just where he might leave him.
Yes, Robrin now at centre-half back. Richard Williams bounced the ball. Pittman didn't win the tap. Lounder won it again, and he gets the handball back from McAdam as well. He's played a great game, Lounder. It goes out to Mandamaker. Couldn't quite get there. Warhurst picks it up, but Mandamaker thwarted that attempt. Now the ball socket off the ground. In there, Jarman used his body well and receives a free kick for a push in their back. He's a very clever player, Andrew Jarman. Great to watch. He's had 18 kicks and 15 handballs. He just finds the ball so easily. Out towards Robrin, close to the boundary line. Left foot kick, 6 it up high, looking for Staritsky. This will be kick number 20 for that player. The ruck rover puts it up towards centre-half forward. Weeding sets himself and takes the chest mark. Thought about moving it on. Players running everywhere. He should drop it in. They have the numbers. He's going to put it in long, looking for Doug Smart. Smart working his way back, but couldn't get to the ball as Payne takes the mark. There's a player down behind play. I'll pick up who that is in a moment. He's a Bulldog player. Let's hope he's not too bad. Could be a raider again. He copped a nasty one early in the game. No, it's not a raider. Anyway, the football is with Payne, and he kicks his first goal for the match at the 7-minute mark of the final term.
Good effort by Payne. He started on a wing today and was on row and was soundly beaten by that player. He's a particularly good skill type player. He's only had 6 kicks today, and that's a bit unusual for him. He'd be pretty disappointed. He's a highly skilled player, and I know he expects a lot more of himself. That occasion got back deep into the forward line, playing off a half-forward flank now. Good kick in by Weeding, and his first goal.
Centre field. This time it's Pittman, got it down towards Jarman. Ghazi in there to intercept, farms out a handball, cleverly tapped on by, I'm not sure who that was. It was Schwert who gave it out towards Hanley. Now the ball is put up, and the mark's been taken by Coffey. Coffey plays on quickly, the handball out towards McAdam, lines up the goals. Oh, Gilbert McAdam has kicked his first goal, and it was a beauty. Kick number 19 for the Magic Man, and the Dogs can do no wrong.
He's been going to do that all day, and unfortunately, when he's gone to goal, Andrew Jarman's been nowhere near him. He's missed 2 or 3 shots that, for him, were absolute give-me's. And on that occasion, he decided it's about time he put it through the middle. Last year's Magarey medalist, well and truly on top.
8.5 minutes into the final term. And the ball is tapped out towards Thomas. He's been very quiet. The handball from Krieg out wide, looking for Girdham. Smith in there. He's been another great player for the Dogs. The ball intercepted by the back pocket player in McIntosh. And he was given a hiding today as a rover. In there is Pike. He's pushed out of the way. Coffey in there trying to get the handball away. Now picked up by Thomas as he kicks around his body. Only his 7th kick. It goes as far as Zimmerman. And his handball goes straight to Lounder, who really didn't do that all that well. Stephen Rowe with an opportunity. Not much movement down the ground, though. Weeding out the long lead, but it's intercepted well by Lee. Lee playing with his socks down as usual. The ball now goes over towards Ghazi to McAdam. Oh, they have players everywhere, the Bulldogs, and it ends up with Vandermaker. Oh, don't the crowd love it. Mark number 10. He's kicked 8 goals, and he's coming up for kick number 12. Gilbert McAdam's had 20 kicks this afternoon. Big Rudy, he'd love to kick 10 today, has 8. Opportunity for 9. Starts it to the left, and it stays in that direction. The Bulldogs 18-17, 125. Norwood 9-11, 65.
Big man to make a player when he's really firing. As we said, been down a bit lately, and there's the man on him, Tom Warhurst. 214 games to his credit. And not a day he'd like to remember. Rowe. Pike. The legs go forward. Muster well up from his forward pocket, if indeed he's playing there anymore. Suddenly moves. Halfpenny. Back towards half forward. Weeding underneath it. Good knock from him. Rowe. McAdam. Did it well, McAdam, but Rowe equal to the task. Puts it back across field. Oh, Squirt. He is absolutely dogged. Did well. And the judge to throw as he gave it on to Ghazi very quickly. Makes the play down the grandstand flank, but Kelly decides to go in long. Doug Smart on a lead, can't quite take it. Ball to ground. Rowe mops up around the corner, and the boundary line comes up better than any. Well, Neil Curley would have to feel extremely pleased with today's performance. His future and that of the clubs was earmarked on today. Confidence would have been belted again. 4 in a row is not good. They recover, and they will be on equal billing with Norwood now. Both 1-1, lost 3. That's when the siren goes, of course. Maynard and Swert again. Zimmerman works hard. Got it up to Staritsky on his left boot. Puts it out across the face of goal. Payne underneath it. Well, it takes a strong mark against solid opposition from a Raider. Kick 1 this quarter. Moved from a wing to half forward. To be his 7th kick. Hanley is his direct opponent. Let's see if he can't make it goal number 2. Might help the Red League score just a trifle. It does. It's their 10th. His second on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Yes, David Payne posting his second goal. He started the game on the wing and he was given an absolute hiding today by Trevor Rowe. But he took a big mark there and he managed to post his second goal. But it's all academic now. They trail by so much, Norwood. They're on 10-11-71. Central 18-17, 125. And Neville, this would have to be one of the real big upsets of the season so far.
Indeed it is. 54 points, and no one would have predicted that. Norwood's form's been down, but for most of the experts, they thought they'd recovered from last week. Oh, McAdam, he owns the ground at the moment. Goes backwards. Gave it to Handley. And his kick is good. Fine squirt, a left footer as well. Man to make it just a little wide for that player. And out of bounds. 12 minutes gone in the first quarter. And all the excitement out of the game, naturally enough. 54 points. One heck of a margin. Pittman in ruck. Bubner. Pittman there. To Rowe. And it's been their little men and run-on players that have taken an absolute belting today. Rose picked up the pace a little bit in the last quarter and a half, but at least has accredited himself with a lot more touches, the value of which is debatable.
Yes, that was a pretty negative move, that one. Went straight for the boundary line, but he's back in there again and he has the football. Muster, oh, he had no chance, and that was beautifully read by Lounder. He has certainly been one of Central's best players, and oh, gee, it's hard to pick out their best. They've had so many. Scott Lee's been a valuable contributor. The ball goes down towards Robran, can't take it. Thomas in there, could be playing off a half-back flank, so we'll try and pick that up. Ilbama's certainly moved his side around. He has Gary McIntosh in a back pocket. The Rovers have been absolutely thrashed for Norwood today. The Rovers were Rowe and McIntosh. Ghazi and Chaplin have shown them a clean pair of heels. The ball goes down towards Kelly. Scott Lee in there, still gets the kick away as he's thrown to the ground. Underneath it, Smith. Oh, Robran showed courage. The ball is held to Central player, who is Peter Krieg. He gets himself up off the ground. Rick Kinnear officiating today with Richard Williams. Kinnear puts the ball to ground. Jarman gets the kick away. Left foot kick out there. We're looking for Maynard. Hereda stood his ground well. Maynard wins the football, but gee, they have the numbers at the fall of the ball, the Dogs. Chopper Hanley out to Gilbert, who just swings around casually and assesses the situation, then says, I'll drop that over to Lounder. The 1989 reserves McGarry medalist receives a kick from the 1989 McGarry medalist. Now he puts it over to Peter Krieg. Vandermaker, the crowd want him to kick 10. He has 8. The handball now out towards Handley. He's a natural left footer, and he's posted a goal.
Good unselfish play by the big man. Did well to recover better than anybody. Got the crumb, and Handley, who's a natural left footer, put himself on the correct side. And he had no trouble with his natural left leg kicking his first goal. He's well and truly up from his half-back flank. And his player nowhere near him. As the Norwood rucks change. Barm on, Pittman off. 15 minutes in. As we've said, that's the policy. 15 minutes, they always change.
Barm opposed to Lounder. Lounder wins the tap once more, and do you think he's not appreciating today? Last week he just couldn't jump. He couldn't compete with the height against Negri. Now it's Matthew Kelly. Puts it out wide. Wheating's the target. It lands just in front. Botka applies the tackle. The crumbs are picked up by Handley. Back to Scott Lee, who just hops around an opponent and handballs the ball over towards Botka. He drops it into Lounder, and he's pretty fit, Richard Lounder. Or Philip Lounder, I should say. Of course, Richard's on his way back, but he'll find it hard to get into the side if his brother keeps playing like this. There he is. Played a great game. He works hard. So he's had 20 possessions. He's had 23 hitouts. He hasn't played a lot of league football. In fact, it's only his 8th game. He showed great maturity this afternoon. The ball goes down towards Chaplin. Not a good kick, just catching the instep. Goes across his body. And he's now kicked 2 goals, 3. 16.5 minutes into the final term. Central 19-18, 132. Norwood 10-11, 71.
Warhurst looks for Robran. Well, getting out there was Coffey off the ground. Did that earlier in the day, and Found Chaplin all by himself. Thomas in defence. He and McIntosh find themselves there today. It's almost like punishment for them. McAdam has a bounce, has a look. Very deliberate shot at goal. He is very happy with his second.
Yes, have a look at that smile, a high five to Chopper Hanley, and there'll be some laughter out at the Bulldog territory tonight, out at Elizabeth. Have a look at that, McAdam magic, the sign says, and that's exactly what it was. Gilbert, he's a sensation. He's been a little inaccurate today, but he's kicked 2 in this final term, and he does it with such consummate ease.
Lounder gets the knock. Bubner goes forward. Oh, here's an opportunity for Van Dommel just off the pitch, and he would be absolutely ecstatic with that. He kicks his first, and Central go on their merry way. 21 goals, 18, 144. They lead Norwood 10-11, 71 on 9's Wide World of Sports.
Yeah, well, everyone getting into the act now. Former captain Rene Van Dommel, he's had some useful touches today. He kicks his first goal, and in fact Gilbert McAdam may have kicked his third moments ago. He kicked 1 in the second term and 2 in this final quarter as the Bulldogs supporters hoe into their normal chant, and we haven't heard that much this season.
Krieg off the ground. First to it will be Smith. He's played well, particularly when they needed him in that first quarter. Rowe, also a good player, goes long on a lead is Coffey. Pike over the top of him. No free kick. Pike. Handball is terrible. Finds McAdam. Chaplin and Barm meet. Barm free kick. Thanks to the umpire for that, and changes play. Kelly on the end of it. He has Payne short if he wants him, or Muster long. Second alternative's the best, through the centre of the ground almost, or centre wing at least. Well, they work it out. Finally, it's Krieg, handball, Swert, Laird, Ghazi, hands let him down. Robin jumps in, does it well, Matthew Robin, to hold play up. Jarman comes in as well. And everybody getting a little bit excited. Andrew Jarman muttering to himself in the traditional long sleeve number 2. Stretches the quad. 35 touches today. So generally for nothing at the end of the day when you get beaten like this. Van Dommel works hard, did it well. Through strongly was Thomas. Caught, can't go. 36 touches, Jarman. Short to Halfpenny. So means some very good players for the Dogs today. Just been everywhere. Really he'd be very relieved with this performance. The Redlegs go forward through Maynard. From behind was Smart. His performance has been encouraging too. He'll finish the day with a minimum of 4 through the centre. McAdam. 23rd touch. Kick at least. It goes wide and out of bounds. There's Roger Girdham relaxing and taking life easy, having a bit of a sip of the good gear, and watching the game from the boundary.
Yes, the ball comes down to ground. Staritsky at the bottom of the pack. We'll have a bounce once more. If we hadn't have, Andrew Jarman would have picked up possession number 37. Barm looking for front position. Taken by Bubner. Now Chaplin with an opportunity inside 50. Vandermaker from behind. Warhurst, it's one of the few times he's really grabbed him. The umpire didn't see it. Oh, perhaps he was playing a play on advantage. Rudy grabbed his leg, nearly ripped it out the socket. Nevertheless, the ball down on the grandstand wing. Payne leads in the charge. He's pushing the back. Play on according to Kinnear. Thrown out by Lee. Over to Schwert. And the Dogs are back into attack through Peter Krieg. He sits it up. Vandermaker couldn't take it because Robrin punched it away. Rowe picks up the crumbs. Oh, did that brilliantly. Lovely change of direction. Weeding the target. Kick number 14 for Rowe. He's had most of those in the second half. But this is where they fall down the legs. There's no players, no numbers at the fall of the ball. As the ball is just thumped out towards Roy Laird. He lifts the eyes. You'll probably give this to Gilbert in a moment. He's down there calling for it. He's underneath it. Takes it with one hand. Oh, you could pick that a mile away.
Yes, Kim Dillon calling in the future now. The chaplain is good. 20 kicks, McIntosh on the mark. 50-metre mark, he won't make the distance. He'll put it in high. Mandamaker sets himself. Or one grab by Van Dommel. Mandamaker taps it over, tried to give it to Coffey. They work in there hard. Van Dommel chips it out. Rudy around the corner, over the head. No way. Krieg spins out of trouble. Nobody grabs him. Robran on the end of it. Steals it, and they're away. Staritsky, an absolute paddock out there, but you can bet your bottom dollar someone will get there very quickly for the Dogs. They have all day. Working hard at half forward is Maynard. Did well on Hereda and will be free kicked. Players lost the pace of the game. It started with a hectic first quarter. Weeding also under the ball, but he offends, and the free kick to Botka, short to McAdam, is good.
Gilbert has taken 13 marks, and that's kick number 25 as he finds Sekadek, whose handball goes out towards Chopper Hanley. Oh, they're just picking up kicks at will at the moment, the Dogs. Sekadek over towards Schwert. Schwert drives it in long. They still want Rudy to kick 10, but Coffey's going to hop in for his chop as he picks up the crumbs in advance of Pike. Now the handball goes back towards Mandamaker. He's wrong-footed by the bounce. This allows Warhurst an opportunity. He slips over. Tommy puts one claw on it and managed to keep the ball in the area. Gets a pat on the back from teammate Andrew Jarman. And, well, Andrew Jarman may well have thought at the start of the year that he was coming to a stronger club. It's not proving to be the case at this stage. I'm sure they'll get their act together, Neville, but certainly inconsistent Norwood.
Yes, it is inconsistent and pretty worrying too, I guess, with the amount of talent they have and the form they displayed today. They haven't responded to the challenge. Great tackle, Mandamaker. Halfpenny caught with the ball. No help, no warning, no support. That's the offence, not getting caught with it. Players not helping him.
Yeah, there were two youngsters there. The Halfpenny had the ball, Neville, and James was alongside him, and there didn't appear to be any talking and inexperience, and they paid the ultimate penalty. But what a great tackle by McAdam.
Easiest thing in footy to do is talk. Don't have to learn how to do that.
No, but it gets very hard, Neville, when you're about 10 goals down in the last quarter, and that's where the courage comes out in a player.
Indeed it does, as Rowe goes into the open goal. He's finished his day off with a goal, and every Central District player getting into the act on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Well, that's 14 kicks for Rowe, and I'm running out of room here to put down the best players for the Dogs because they are everywhere. I genuinely cannot find a quiet player. Tony Lynn kicked 2 goals in the first term, then he left the ground with what appeared to be a cork thigh or a crook knee. He had ice on his leg. And apart from that, every other player's hopped in for his chop today, and there's been some absolute stars out there, and I genuinely cannot find a bad player. But I tell you what, if we had more time, we certainly could for the Redlegs.
Out of the centre goes Chaplin. High, underneath it, Mandamaker couldn't take it. Thomas, under pressure, gets it away. A race to see who can get the next goal out there at the moment. Coffey turns it around, and he's booted it to well and truly out of bounds on the full. Neil Curley still not letting up the pressure and making the point at three-quarter time that you very rarely get Norwood in this situation, and if they were in the same situation, they would put their feet on your throat and make sure your life was very difficult, or words to that effect. And he is dead right, and they should enjoy their win. Staritsky from behind. Rowe, McAdam, Smith, all played well. Baum, Smith again. Staritsky with Lounder. Jarman cleverly with his left boot, gives himself an opportunity, and as he mostly does, finds another player. Rowe wants to get on with it quickly. He's picked up plenty of touches in this last half, Stephen Rowe, as he goes long. Lee Nilly. Payne works harder, rated to ground. Maynard with him, and umpire Williams will go again. And Coffey taken off for that last thought being rested. Curley might have taken him off. He might have been disappointed with that effort to goal, or might just be giving Girdham another run. Nevertheless, it won't matter much as Staritsky puts it in high. Dogs are absolutely everywhere, in particular Scott Lee, who's been magnificent out of that back pocket.
Yes, he's a great player, Scott Lee. I class him as the best back pocket player in South Australia. George Fiarchi's pretty good, but I reckon this man, he's a star in that position. Doug Smart grabs it with strength, tried to crash his way through, couldn't do so. It's now tapped out towards Muster. He goes back towards Kelly. That's kick number 12 for that player, and he finds Halfpenny. Staritsky wants it centre field, and he takes the mark, then plays on and kicks an easy goal. Oh, no, he didn't. He hit the post. Well, 9 times out of 10, he would kick that.
In a lot of ways, I'm glad he missed that, Kim. You're calling in the future very arrogantly there, enjoying every bit of this win against Norwood.
I'm not really, Neville. I selected the Red Leagues today, and this has affected my tipping quite badly.
Indeed it has. I've picked them as well. I don't think that is Neil Barnes' biggest concern, though. I think it's a form of his charges, and they need to do something pretty quickly, the leagues. 1 out of 4 is a bad start to the year, and that's pretty, well, stating the obvious, I guess. Chaplin puts it in high. Underneath it, Smith. Well, that's far too easy. Did edge out Halfpenny, but did it very cleverly. 19th kick. Not that you can take too much notice of when the game is dead and buried. What happens from most of the last quarter, I guess, is not a huge concern. What would concern the Red League camp more than anything is why they were beaten badly in the first 10 or 12 or 15 minutes of the first quarter, when it was very important for them to compete. On the other hand, this sort of thing for the Dogs is just what the doctor ordered as they recover for 1990.
Yes, Girdham getting into the act now. He's kicked his first goal. So, as we mentioned before, they all want a piece of the action. And Neville, yes, they were outplayed in that first half, but I think they'd be equally as concerned by the fact that they have not been able to at least win 1 quarter. And it's just been a total performance by the Dogs. And at the 28, nearly 29-minute mark, this has been a very miserable effort by Norwood, but an extremely polished one by the Dogs.
Out of the centre of the ground comes Muster. Staritsky an opportunity. Kick their last goal. Straightens up. Has a look. Goes towards Weeding, but it goes past that player. He recovers quickly. Oh, and finally kicks it out on the full. And I don't think he'd be very happy with that. But, really, I guess most of them just hoping that siren goes and goes very quickly. It's 29 minutes in. They haven't got much longer of this pain. There's Lee, chips short, and finds Hanley, half back. Around young Zimmerman he goes with plenty of pace still in his legs at the end of the 4th quarter to find Bubner. Been good today, Bubner, as he goes to row. Also a good player. Ghazi, man to make her in the square, but he goes to Smith as a siren goes, and the mark has been paid. So Greg Smith with an opportunity to bring up his first goal, and he's only 10-15 metres from goal. And I don't think there'll be too many surprises if he kicks it. They deserve their win today. 42 shots at goal. This is a 43rd as he kicks his first goal. Central District, 24 goals, 18, 162. They've defeated and absolutely annihilated Norwood, 10-12, 72 in the 4th round at Football Park on 9's Wide World of Sports.